Welcome back, everyone. Tuesday, the 3rd of March, 2026, and probably going to be quite a warm and interesting live stream this afternoon. Once every now and again, usually about once or twice a year, I feel the need to defend myself and to answer the absolutely vile cowards and gaslighters that are out there making a lot of noise from behind their computer screen whilst using fake names, never revealing their appearance or their true identity. They have very big mouths and even bigger fingers on their keyboards. And every now and again, I feel the need to reply, to have my say, and let them know that I don't, I'm not affected by bullying. Bullying doesn't bother me. It annoys me, but it doesn't bother me. And there's a big difference between being annoyed and being bothered, something that I think they often miss. Now, today's live stream is going to be open to the audience, but I'm afraid, there we go. We got one in the comments already. Well, 488RUHK, Big Mouth, you're going to have your chance because I'm putting the link in the chat and you can come on and say that to my face. You can, in fact, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll even give you the chance to hide. I'll just listen to your voice. I won't put your face up. I'll just put your voice. Come on and tell me what you want to say. There's so many of you out there right now that are focusing on having a go at me for some reason, God knows why, but today, you're going to get your chance. And I am absolutely looking forward to taking on each and every one of you. Metaphorically, that is, okay? Let me make that clear, because whilst there are people out there right now who are saying things about me, and I'm going to play one of them and I'm going to show you a few examples and give each and every one of those absolute cowards the chance to come on my live stream and tell me what I've done wrong. Okay, so there are accusations out there that I'm a grifter, that I'm a coward, that I've run away, that I've let people down. All these things are being perpetuated by a small amount of people, but unfortunately are being picked up by a lot more people, and I mean a lot more people who are stupid enough to believe the lies. Now, there's been a video released about me this morning, which normally I just ignore. You know, just let them get on with it. They always use my name in the title, and the reason they do that is that so they can grift. They can use my name to make them money. That's the truth of the matter. But regardless, I don't mind. I don't begrudge anyone using my name to earn a living as long as it's decent. But on this occasion, this particular gentleman who says he's terminally ill, and if that is true, then obviously my thoughts and prayers go to him and his family. But that is no excuse, even if it is true, and I have my doubts. He even uses AI voice. That does not excuse the things and the lies that he's saying about me that are so untrue, that are so inaccurate, that are so misleading, that there are people out there right now that are actually making me a target. Now, I don't mind being a target for idiots online. I don't mind being a target for trolls. I don't mind being a target for the left or the Islamists. But when I start to become a target from our own people because they are reading things about me that simply aren't true, then I have to draw a line. These people that are saying these things are troublemakers, they are liars, they are cowards, they are all of those things. And today, I want to give all of those people the chance to come on my show and make clear their accusations to me. What exactly are they saying? What exactly are they accusing me of? And more importantly, where is their evidence? And we're going to go through some of it. I want to make sure that I understand all the concerns that these people have. I want to make sure that I'm understanding them correctly. So tell me specifically, what exactly are you trying to achieve here? What outcome are you looking for? And you can say and make up whatever you like about me in any of your videos, in all of the comments. You can make and say whatever you want about me. But the thing is, the problem that you have is that you can't prove any of it because there's nothing to prove. And do I want to name individual people that have been having a dig at me? Not really. That's not really my style. I'd rather just, speak to them face to face. They know who they are, and they know that I know who they are, right? So if you're big enough, if you're man enough, I'm going to open up the stream in a minute. Come on and tell me. Tell me in front of my audience. Tell me in front of the world. Tell me exactly what you're saying that I've done. Tell me exactly what your concerns are. And tell me exactly why you are saying what you are saying about me. The floor's open. So I'm going to put the link into the chat right now. And let's see, I should have an amazingly busy afternoon because this morning, on one video alone, I've seen dozens and dozens and dozens of vile responses aimed towards me, and indeed lies. Now, thank you, Lolly. Thank you, Lolly. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry if this is a video or a stream that anyone finds uninteresting, but I am gonna stick up for myself, and I'm going to stick up as well for one of my mods, Claire Bear. One of the most loveliest, kindest, loyalist, genuine people that you could ever wish to meet in your life, who is currently being abused by men and women. Both sexes are getting on Claire Bear's back. They're lying about her. They're saying things to her that I've said that I've never said. They're gaslighting her. And they, this week, have driven her to a point of, well, let's just say what they've done to her is absolutely fucking obscene. And my message to these people, I've got a fly here that's right in my eyesight, go away. My message to those people that want to bully Claire, focus on me. Don't focus on Claire. If you want to try and bully someone, try and bully me. Claire is one of my moderators. I'm very proud of the work she does for me. I'm very grateful for the work she does for me, and she does a wonderful job. So that's that. So let's have a little look. Before we get into the calls, I'll pop the link in the chat, and I want to give this a little while to propagate so that we've got enough people here. I want to give the haters a chance to know that this stream is going. And don't worry, haters, if you miss this one, just get in touch. I'm going to put my email address. Please remind me at the end of the video, someone. I'm going to put my email address up so that any of those cowardly attackers out there that want to have something to say to me, I'm going to give you my email address, and you can have my phone number. You can ring me up. We can talk about it. Or even better, you can come online and tell the world about what I've done wrong. You can tell the world. You can make your accusations out loud. And whatever those accusations are, I will face them, and I fear not, because there are simply no accusations to answer. Let's have a little listen to the wonderful, what's his name? Jim. Let's have a listen to the wonderful Jim what he says about me. And during the video, I'm going to pause it when he lies or when he exaggerates, which is probably going to be quite a lot, to be fair. And then afterwards, because the video itself is, whilst it's not good, it's not, you know, the end of the world, right? I mean, there's plenty of lies. And at the end of the day, there is plenty of incitement in the respect. When I say incitement, this is riling people up into hating me, into believing things that I've never said. Okay, so that's where the danger is. Go and see the comments. Go and see what some of the things that people are saying about me in the comments. It is absolutely unbelievable. I certainly don't recognise myself. And I'll get in the chat in a minute as well, guys. Si Harris, can you make me a mod, please, Paul? Si, I can't do it from here, mate, because I'm on the wrong system, but certainly in the future. Let's have a little listen to what this particular gentleman has said. And I reiterate before I go any further that during this video, he says that he is terminally ill. And I repeat, if this is true, then the last thing that I want to be doing is fighting back. I'd rather just get on with what he wants to do, spend whatever time he has left on this earth doing something that makes him happy. But it appears that lying about me is what makes him happy. So I'm not so sure that this is even genuine. Have a listen. One sec, I've got to turn the volume up. Why is that?
There is a very strange, very ugly phenomenon happening on political YouTube right now. And I am not talking about the left. I am not talking about the mainstream media or the establishment or the usual suspects we all love to criticize. No, this rot is coming from inside the house. It is coming from the so-called right itself. A handful of creators, people who claim to be on the side of the people, have decided that instead of challenging the system, they are going to challenge anyone who refuses to kiss the ring.
So there's your first clue. Someone who refuses to challenge the system, right? I mean, I think I've been challenging the system from day one, but, you know, I've been challenging the system so much that I've had to come and live in Spain to get away from it all, but never mind. So we'll carry on.
And frankly, it is absolutely pathetic. We are watching factional warfare that has nothing to do with saving the country and everything to do with bruised egos and dwindling view counts.
I agree with a lot of that. It's got nothing to do with dwindling view counts, but I agree with some of that.
So the core question you have to ask yourself is this: why are the people preaching unity the loudest actually the ones holding the knife? That is where we need to start, because you are being sold a lie. For months now, myself and my associates have been under persistent attack. Now, I cannot say 100% that my attacks are from Paul Thorpe or Richard Inman. However, another individual who I can 100% tell you is involved in targeting me is Dino Bain. At least Dino Bain had the courage to send a message to me from his own channel.
Now, I can't speak for Dino Bain. I'm not Dino Bain's biggest fan, and I don't know if Dino has targeted this guy or whether he hasn't. But for this guy to even hint that I've targeted him, bearing in mind that this is a channel I never recall seeing before. I may have done over the last couple of years. I may have watched one of his videos without knowing, but the name doesn't ring a bell. I've never seen this video before this channel before that I'm aware of. Okay. I've never listened to any of these, this channel that I'm aware of. And the guy admits in this video that he deliberately keeps himself anonymous. So how the hell can I target him? I don't even know who he is, but he's telling his audience, that he thinks that I might be targeting him. A man that's claiming to be terminally ill. What a vile, unnecessary and totally untrue accusation to make, but let's carry on.
Albeit his second channel, Diversity. I am going to open up here. He said AI slop. That is exactly what he said about my channel. Just those two words, AI slop.
Well, I'm afraid I have to actually agree with that. It is AI slop. And I also had decency to reply quite politely to this gentleman in his comments. And his replies to me, if he doesn't delete them, you will see, are, you know, very flippant and, you know, not particularly pleasant.
Now, whilst I have to hold my hand up and say, yes, I do use artificial intelligence in my channel, if you would like to know why, just read the channel description. Everything is in there and always has been, plain for all to see. I am, in fact, terminally ill. So that shows you the kind of people we are dealing with here, does it not? Now, if I get things wrong sometimes.
No, it doesn't show the type of people that you're dealing with, because I don't know you. I didn't know that until you said it. I've never heard of you before. I have no idea who you are.
That is on me. If someone says, Jim, you are wrong about tax policy, I can handle that. I welcome that. What I am talking about is a coordinated effort by a small group, specifically led by Paul Thorpe, to send followers.
Whoa. Hold on. Let him finish that.
To attack channels, harass creators, and burn down bridges.
Right. Now, so this guy is accusing me that I'm the ringleader, basically. He's saying I'm the ringleader of rounding up people, sending people to his channel and to other people's channels to attack them. Do you really think that A, that is my personality? B, do you think I could be bothered? And C, do you think you're significant enough for me to even want to do that? I don't know who you are. I repeat, I have no idea who you are, but you have just put a target on my back. You've only got to look at your own comments, Jim, whoever you are, if that's your name, if you're male, female, I have no idea. But this is what is happening right across YouTube at the moment in some areas, where people are lying about me, they're lying about Richard, they're making things up about the pair of us. Whatever Richard said, I'm guilty of. Whatever I've said, Richard's guilty of. And these people, whoever they are, have got together in a coordinated attack to try and smear people, to try and ruin their reputations, and even more sinister, to incite potentially, I believe, violence against us. Because if you read the comments in this person's chat, it won't be too long before I get a tap on my shoulder from one idiot or another who has listened to bullshit like this and has believed it. Let's carry on.
It has caused me personal fallout. I have lost a friendship over this nonsense. Real life consequences. Because some people treat politics like a schoolyard scrap. But that is where they want you to stop looking. They want you to think it is just drama. It is not drama. It is a revelation of character. Here is the payoff. The system they are building is not about freedom. It is about control. And the moment they lose control, the mask slips.
Does this guy think we're building a... Do you know what? I'm not actually even going to play any more than that, right? You get the drift, right? The video's there. If you want to go and see it, feel free to go and see it at a later date. Like I said, there's, look, these hold on a minute, I've got the wrong, there you go. These accusations, whilst in themselves might not seem that damaging, and you might say, oh, what are you worried about, Paul? Just ignore them, etc. They are rife at the moment. They are rife. From people who have a bee in their bonnet for whatever reason about myself. I'm not going to talk for anyone else. That is, let me put a couple of comments up that I've seen today. These are two comments of about 100 that I could have chosen today. Probably more than 100. In fact, definitely more than 100. These are two comments that give you a flavour of the type of bullshit that is going around right now. Let me just put in the chat the link to the show. So I only want people to come on today that have got something to say to me, got an accusation to make. If you want to call me a coward, a grifter, if you want to accuse me of running away to Spain, if you want to accuse me of being a debt collector or a dodgy dealer or a criminal, here's your chance. Put up or shut the fuck up. How about that? Right? Never mind all your bullshit and you're tapping away in the comments on other people's channels thinking that I have either don't see them or you're going to influence other people into believing your bullshit, right? Come on and face me now, right? The link is in the chat. I won't put your face on camera. You can just come on with your voice only. How about that? You still haven't even got to reveal yourself, just your voice. The link is in the chat, and I'm ready and I am waiting. Whilst we are waiting, I'm going to address Nina. Thank you, Nina. Paul, could be someone paid by the government or Islamist, whatever. A lot of us don't believe it. Nina, I tell you what, it's not, hun. I wish it was, right? Because I've lost about 800 subscribers this week. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I'm not bothered about losing 800 subscribers. It doesn't matter to me. Excuse me 1 second. It doesn't matter to me losing those subscribers. The upsetting part about it, right, is that these people are believing lies that they're being fed. These people are believing lies about me. And the concerning part is that if they believe this shit that's being said about me, I'm going to become a target, not for the enemy, I'm going to become a target for my own people. And it's vile. It's absolutely vile. Julie, we will not be bullied or become your victims. Exactly. Nina, it's the leftist, Paul. Thank you, Nina. Well, if it is Nina, they've been subscribing to my channel. Now, FP has come on. I'm going to let him on, but FP, I did really want people that are going to attack me. Are you going to attack me, mate? Good afternoon.
I'll try not to. I want to thank you first, Paul, for allowing me to be a moderator.
No, my pleasure, mate. Thank you for your work. I appreciate that.
It's to do with Claire. I have been working with Claire this last couple of days regarding this matter. And I even spoke to another content creator that we both know, and I threatened legal action as a result of the doxing and the abuse. And I want to make everyone aware that if you are being abused online, go to the police and report it as online hate crime or cyber abuse, because the police will then be forced to start an investigation into it. And it's also raising the reported hate crimes online, that they will be forced to do something on the matter.
Well, in Claire's case, it's getting to that degree. I personally wouldn't bother, unless it's a death threat, I wouldn't bother reporting stuff to the police. For me personally, I'm big enough to take it on the chin. It doesn't bother me. But where Claire's concerned, and such a wonderful, wonderful, truly wonderful human being, the abuse that she's been receiving is absolutely vile and is the work of disgusting individuals who, frankly, want to look in the mirror and wash their frigging brains out, right? Because it's just disgusting. Yeah, well,
I haven't known Claire as long as you, but I've known Claire a little while, and I love the girl to bits.
She's a wonderful person, a wonderful person.
And I am like you, Paul. I've thick skin. I can take it on the chin. But when I see people coming out and abusing my friends, I come out swinging.
No, look, mate, I appreciate that, and you know, it's really, really nice of you to do so. This is the deal, right? Now, just whilst we're going on, I'm just gonna reiterate that this stream this afternoon is basically for people that have got a big mouth, have got something to say to me, that say plenty about me in the chats of this and other videos. The link's in the chat right now. Here's your chance. I won't put your face on, just your voice. Come and tell me to my face.
I'll go here and let you get on with your show, Paul.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. All the best, yeah, and we'll be live again soon. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that, mate.
Take care.
Appreciate that. Thank you, mate. I want to address here. I'd like to say once and for all, but I did a once and for all video about a year ago, shortly after I'd moved from Spain to Spain. Let me show you a couple of messages before I read what I'm going to read here. I'm going to show you two messages that are one of 100 that I could have shown you from today's post from other people's channels. JW, I won't read the second word because YouTube doesn't like it, but JW, whatever. Thorpe is a cowardly pain in the bum. Doesn't come back to the UK in case he's arrested, leaving us to take up that risk. What risk is that, mate? What risk are you taking, JW? Tell me about your risk. While we're not grifting for money. That word grifting, JW, that word grifting. So I'm a coward because I don't come back to the UK in case I might get arrested, which could happen to me, but certainly wouldn't be a risk to you, would it, JW? You're not taking any risks, are you, from behind your computer screen with a fake username? And look, it's had 10 upvotes, and that lovely word grift is evident again in this next message. Now, Gerald Fisher is a serial stalker of mine. Gerald must have written, I don't know, 100 messages about me, lies, gaslighting, accusations that could lead someone to want to hurt me, in all honesty. And he says, in response to another piece of abuse, absolutely, they all use the nationalist movement to make money. Okay, make money, nothing else. The United Kingdom rally is another money maker for them. That's twice he's used the term money. Pete Paulthorpe and his luxury lifestyle in Spain, grifters, all of them. So in what, 2 lines there, he's managed to mention money twice and grifting once. So Gerald, you absolute fucking prick, right? Here's my grift. There's 15 of them. Are you ready, Gerald? I'm going to read this out just for you and for everyone else, for every loser out there that calls me a grifter. Every time I see someone call me a grifter, I laugh. I laugh at them. And this is the reason I laugh at them. 1, these are all facts, and you can check out any one of them. I've been on YouTube since 2014, easily verified. 2, total fundraisers that I've organised for myself during that time, 0. Total GoFundMe appeals set up for myself during that time, 0. Total PayPal appeals made by me on my channel during that time, 0. Appeals to help me pay for equipment, 0. 7, money received from the United Kingdom movement, 0. Money donated to me from outside or other organisations during this time, 0. 9, money received from sponsors since I started talking about politics, 0. 10, sponsorship revenue lost after I switched from talking about watches to politics, £7,000 a month gone. 11, money earned from voluntary, not asked for super chats, average over the time 350 quid a month, of which YouTube take about 30 to 40%. 12, the only other source I have since I've been talking about politics is Google. Viewers watch for free and Google pay me. If you don't like me, don't watch me, and Google won't pay me. 13, I'm still paying tax in the UK. Point 14, money I have donated to others, good causes during this time since I've been talking about politics, bringing people from around the country to the United Kingdom rallies, etc., and other things that I've done that I'm not going to talk about, but I have the receipts, and I've made some of those receipts public in the past, £6,000 that I've put back into the community. In fact, it's actually a bit more than that, but I rounded it up to 6 grand. Finally, fact 15, number of people that can come forward and say that I've asked them for money, 0. So where are you, big boys? Where are you, Gerald, or whatever your name is? Where are all those people out there that accuse me of being a grifter? Where are you? The line is open. The link is in the chat. You're all amazingly quiet. What does it say on the title? Put up or shut up. Come and tell me. Show me the grift. There's another channel that has accused me. Well, not accused me. They're very clever. They talk about Paul Thorpe's suspect business dealings. Where are those suspect business dealings? The link's in the chat. Come and tell me. I worked at a professional football club for 4 years. I worked in professional boxing for 4 years. I've been involved in luxury watches for 40 years. I've worked my arse off. My luxury, so-called luxury lifestyle in Spain, not that it's anyone's goddamn business, is funded from 40, 45 years of hard graft, of being beaten up, of being robbed, of living my life in fear from real bad guys that really do come after you with knives and axes whilst I was in the luxury watch business. And you've only got to go back and watch some of my videos to see the evidence of that. So all these people with their phony, fake, cheap, bitter, envious allegations, the line is open. Show me the receipts. Show me some evidence. Show me where I'm a grifter. Show me where I've ever asked anyone for a single bloody penny. All of my life, I've been a giver, not a taker. I'm in this for one reason, because I care about my country and I care about the people. But you know what? The more I see some of these vile bastards in these comments, the less I'm starting to goddamn care. I just don't get some of these people. Instead of focusing on the enemy, they want to focus on me. And it's got to the point this week, 99 times out of 100, I just let it go over my head. It doesn't bother me. You know, the fact that I'm in Spain, I've said it a million times before. I do get that some people will be a little bit envious of that, and I get that. And I've said to people before, I don't take that personal. I understand that, but they have to know why I'm here. They have to know what I've given up. And I've sacrificed that for my audience, for you, for my country, for speaking the truth. I've made that sacrifice because I was brave enough to stand up and give up the income that I had. I had an amazing job. I had an amazing income. Ask anyone that goddamn knows me. Ask any of my old previous viewers that know me. I was raking it in before I started talking about politics. And it all stopped the moment I started talking about Tommy and about the United Kingdom movement. My sponsors ran a frigging mole, and you know that would be true. How many people have you seen sponsoring my channel since I stopped talking about watches? I'll tell you how many. Zero. Another big fat zero. The link's in the chat. I'm waiting for the men with the big mouths to show themselves. They've had plenty to say about me all day. The next time you see one of these morons in the comments calling me a grifter, calling me a coward, tell them they've had their fucking chance and they blew it. I'll give them another chance at the end of this. I'm going to leave them my email address. And I don't want anyone else, please, to email me about this. Anyone. I just want those that will ever go at me, contact me. You get in touch with me, and if you want to speak to me, do you know what? If you want to fly to Benidorm, come and have a drink with me. We'll have a chat. We'll sort it out man to man. We'll have a pint, and it's okay to disagree. But what is not okay, it is not okay to incite others to commit violence against me by lying. It is not okay. Right, we've got someone in the... Ray, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, Ray.
Hello, Paul. Sorry, I'm lagging a bit behind on the TV.
Okay.
Just a quick one, mate.
Yeah.
Hats off to you for doing this video. I know it's obviously got under your skin a bit, and I can understand that. But mysteriously, all the people who were typing in the comments have all seemed to have disappeared. They really haven't got the front or the balls to confront you face to face. So I think that pretty much says it all, really.
Well, this is the thing, Ray, and I appreciate you saying that. And, you know, I'm still hoping that there'll be someone that wants to come on and confront me over the accusations that are being put out against me. Anything you like, anything I've ever done in my life, anyone I've ever ripped off, anyone I've ever done any harm to, anyone I've drifted from. This is live across the world. Tell me, come and tell me, show the evidence.
Yeah, you can't be more transparent than that, really, can you?
Can't be more transparent, Ray. And this is the problem, mate, is that there are a lot of people out there right now, 800 this week, that have seen this shit about me and that have unsubscribed to my channel. Not because of what I've said, but because of what someone else has said about me.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, because a lot of people don't kind of, I mean, I know like people have lives and what have you, and they don't have the time to kind of delve into these things a little bit. But I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, what I've been watching for the last half an hour, there were like 4 or 5 people on the comments saying all different things. They've got their chance. This is what they want, surely.
Yeah.
So come on.
Yeah, where are they?
Pick
Where
the
are
phone
they?
up and speak to you like one-to-one and have a discussion about it. But they haven't even got the bottle to do that. It's a joke.
No.
Really.
No, they haven't got the ball to do it. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'm waiting for someone. It's not, do you know what, Ray? For me, it's not even about bowl. I tell you what it's about. It's about someone coming up with a genuine grievance. You know, I want to know what these people's concerns are, and I want to know exactly what they're saying I have done.
Yeah,
Here's your chance.
They've got nothing to back these accusations up, have they? Otherwise, they'd be straight at you.
Of course they would. And I tell you what they'll do next, Ray. What they'll do next is, and this is an absolute guarantee. This is a given, right? They're now butthurt. A lot of these people will be butthurt, and they'll be watching this, tearing their hair out because they hate me so much. God knows why. They don't even know me, but they've got this illness in their head that they hate me for whatever reason. And they will be up in arms tonight on all the internet, on all over Reddit, all over whatever other forums and YouTube, leaving comments about me. I'm just waiting for whatever the next. I mean, was I on Epstein Island next? That'd be the next one. You know, I mean,
yeah,
you couldn't make this shit up, but these people are. They're doing it. You know.
But I'll tell you what, mate. Fair play to you, because I think it's not fair to get all these these people to make certain derogatory comments, and you've got no comeback on it really, unless you speak to someone one-to-one, e.g., in God forbid in real life. You know, you'd have a conversation. You'd say, both parties would say your bit, and then that would be that. You go your separate ways. But
look,
you
Ray,
don't have that opportunity.
This is the thing, Ray. I'm going to be honest with you, right? And I'm going to put the link in the chat again. I've got someone else on in just a second. So there might be someone coming on to have a bit of a moan here, Ray. So I'm going to let you go, mate. And I'm going to move on to the next caller. Is that all right?
Go for it, mate.
All the best to you, mate. Thank you.
Right.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Liam. Good afternoon, Liam.
Good afternoon, Paul.
Good afternoon, mate. Do you want to give it to me, Liam?
No. Well, no. I'm a supporter of the movement. I'm a supporter of what you and Richard and other people do. However, I think there are lots of people out there, whether they be on the left or even on the right, that, as many people have said in the chat, sort of the keyboard warrior type, sat in their mum's basement behind a anonymous username, etc., etc. What I think has happened, and I've seen it happen from both yourself, Richard, and others, to be fair, is sometimes emotion and sort of personal investment in things that happen, things that go on, aren't always initially factual. And personal opinion can come across as ammunition almost for these people that want to have a go for whatever motivation that they have.
Yeah.
It's almost loading the gun for them to shoot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But having said that, one of the hardest things in the world to do, and I've learned this over the last 47 years of life, one of the hardest, if you're passionate about something, one of the hardest things to do sometimes is to take a step back, take a few moments or however long, establish what you're going to say, and do it in a very concise, factual way. And sometimes, particularly on the internet and with live streaming and all that stuff, once that live button's hit, or that record button's hit on a pre-recorded video, it's very, very easy to get drawn in to what comes across as anger almost, and emotional responses. And then straight away, these people can manipulate that and then turn it round. And you know, the whole grifting thing, and that's just an easy get at. That's someone who supports. Hold on, mate. I've got no sound from you at all. 1 second, bud. 1 second. No, I can't.
Anthony's up next. Anthony, can you hear me?
Hello.
How you doing?
Not too bad. You okay?
Yeah, good man. Do you want to, have you got something that you want to accuse me of or have a go at me about?
No, I'm not going to have a go at you. Just say no. Paul.
Sorry,
Paul, you do your very best and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Anthony. I appreciate that, my friend. I really do.
Yeah. You're a good friend.
Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. I hope so.
What is scheduled over the last couple of months, I've got no qualms with you.
I think, look, Anthony, we're all here to have discussions. We're all allowed to have opinions. We're all allowed to say what's on our mind. You know, we live in we used to live in a free country, and it's time.
Which we used to do.
Which we used to do, my friend, but we don't anymore. And I'm afraid there are a lot of people out there that are so frustrated and so angry right now that they're taking it out on people they shouldn't be taking it out on.
Exactly.
And it's just not right. Anthony, thank you so much, mate. I'm going to move on because I'm trying to get someone that
God
wants
bless
to
you,
go
mate.
at me. God bless you. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. Jackie, good afternoon, Jackie. Jackie, can you hear me? Hello, Jackie. Are you there? Jackie, I can't hear you. You haven't got your mic on. I'll put the link to the stream again. I'm looking for people that have got an accusation to make. We have nearly 2,000 people watching. We've had plenty of, or I say plenty, I haven't seen it too much, but apparently there's been a nice bit of a chat in the chat, some haters. So where are they? Come on, let's see what I've done wrong. Tell me exactly what you're saying, exactly what you're accusing me of. Don't use the word grift. If you're going to use the word grift, tell me what I've grifted. Show me what I've stolen. Show me what I've taken. Prove it to the world. Show your evidence. And if I've stole or grifted or broken the law, report it to the police. That'd be the best thing to do, wouldn't it? If you think I've stolen money from people, or if I've taken money from people under false pretenses, if there's anyone out there that's watched my videos and didn't like them, get in touch. I'll give you your money back. Trouble is, you didn't pay me, did you? So where's the bloody grift? Bunch of jokers, honestly. Let's try Jackie again. Jackie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Paul.
Hey,
You're
Jackie.
all right.
Yeah, I'm all right. How you doing?
Yeah,
What's
mate,
on your mind?
I know it's winding you up and you're entitled to be wound up. You've got these pricks sitting indoors, they've got nothing about them. All they can do is have a pop at people who are trying to do some good. They ain't worth it, mate. They ain't worth it. And I know you're taking it so personal. You really are. But you're putting yourself out there. You're doing something. Do you know what I mean?
I appreciate that, Jackie. I appreciate that. The reason that I've come on, the main reason I've come on today is because it's now spreading to people like Claire, and I'm just not having it. Right? If people want to talk shit about me, so be it. Right? If they want to wait, if the only thing how can I put it? If I'm in their head that much that they want to write lies about me, then if that turns them on, let them get on with it. But when they start turning on people like Claire, we're starting to deal with monsters, right? And I'm not having it.
No, no,
I'm not having
no.
it, right? And
No.
I'll protect Claire. I'll protect my other mods, but Claire mostly because she's a woman, right? And I'm not having it, right? I'm not having men.
It just shows you how
attack-
yeah, but they're not men, are they? They're not men. They probably couldn't even fight their way out of a bag. It's all mouth. They just want to be arseholes. There's probably
Yeah.
nothing to do with what's going on. They don't give a monkeys. All they want to do is have a pop at people who are doing things. Look at the shit Tommy Robertson has.
Yeah.
Not like last week. I'm going back 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, all his life. Yeah. I mean, now he's still got.
All his life. But now look at the respect he's got now.
Do you know what though, Jackie? I tell you, a lot of people have turned on Tommy recently. You know that? I don't know if you've seen this online, but there's,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people have turned on him for whatever reason. You'd have to ask them. You know, look, at the end of the day, I don't know what these people's motives are,
Yeah.
and if we cannot, like I said the other day, if we cannot stick together, you know, what hope have we got?
Listen, this is the whole problem all with this advance and restore and UKIP. Do you know what I mean? It's digging up a lot of dirt. It's making bad feeling between each other. We've got enough to deal with. We don't need to be fighting between ourselves.
Exactly. Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'll tell you what you've done there. You've actually reminded me of something else that gentleman said in his video today. He said, and other people have said, that during my live streams, I've called Rupert Lowe a Nazi. I never have.
You never have, mate. I
No,
watch you all the time, mate. All the
No,
time.
I've called him a racist. I never
No.
have.
No.
And these people who have suddenly got on their high horse about Rupert and are protecting him so much, and I get that they see him as someone that could, you know, potentially be our saviour.
Yeah.
All I've ever done with Rupert is be a critical friend and offered what I consider to be, not that he's going to listen to me, he doesn't need my advice, who the hell am I, right? But, you know, I'm a commentator, so my job is to commentate.
Yeah.
And I've said that he needs to be careful about some of the rhetoric that people around him are using. And I think that's fair enough, to the point where
100%.
Tommy has said it and
Yeah.
Rupert has cleared it up. So
Yeah.
what's to argue about? I was
There's
right. Let's move on.
Yeah. You're just putting our opinion across.
It's just an opinion.
It's an opinion.
but
Everyone's
I'm-
entitled to an opinion, but everyone's just, do you know what I mean? We're not entitled to say what we want to bloody say anymore.
Yeah.
It's not
But I
fair.
think, do you know what, Jackie? I really think, I really hate to say that I think this actually
I
goes.
tell you what, I was annoyed with you the other day. I was gutted, actually.
Go on, what did
when
I
you said-
say?
No, when you didn't say anything wrong, it's when you said, and I want to ask you why
Yeah.
you've left the college.
Okay, so right, the reason I've left the college is because I want to defend Ben as a human being, as an individual. I think he's a man of integrity. I think he's a lovely, lovely individual. And I feel, do you know what? I feel really sorry for Ben, really sorry for him, right? And I couldn't defend him from a neutral viewpoint when I was in the college. People were just saying to me, Paul, you're going to defend Ben, you're in the college, you know, you're part of Advance, you're against Restore. No, I'm not. I hope Restore smash it. I hope Rupert Lowe becomes our next Prime Minister. Right.
We need it.
But it doesn't mean to say that Ben's not a good guy.
No.
And I couldn't defend Ben and be as clear and as honest as I can with the viewers while still remaining as a member of the college. Now, the other reason is that the college can do better than me. They can get better people in than me. I'm no loss to the college, but what I can do is I can speak up for what I believe is truthful and what is fair from outside of the college. I can talk about the positives of Advance. I can talk about the positives of Restore, even the positives of Reform if I see them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I can speak about the negatives of all three parties as well.
Did you
if I wanna see 'em.
did you feel you had to pull out of the college when Restore come along? Was that the time when you thought, no, I've got to pull out and just look in on this rather than be in it?
Well, it's related, and the reason it's related is because the abuse that started to come Ben's way came after Rupert announced that he was going to launch his party. And, you know, Ben made a video that perhaps wasn't the best advised. You know, perhaps it wasn't worded. If he looks back at that video, Ben might think, you know what, I'll probably word that slightly differently.
Yeah.
And I think
he's only human, though, doesn't he?
he's a human being. He's
Yeah.
a man. He wears his heart on his sleeve.
Exactly. And he must have felt like a stab in the back. Honestly, poor bloke.
He did feel.
Really?
I think he did feel like he was stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
But look, you know, I want to move on from that.
Yeah,
What's
okay,
in-
I'll let you go, mate. You
No,
take
no,
care.
no, no, no. I'm not talking about you, Jackie. I'm
Oh,
talking about.
wow,
I want to move on from Rupert and Ben. What it doesn't matter. Rupert doesn't matter. Ben doesn't matter. What matters is we win.
I couldn't give a flying shit if it was bloody Mickey Mouse that was going to get us out of this shit.
Exactly,
do it.
exactly,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
If we can find the right bloody leader that
Yeah.
brings the right support, and all along my critical friendly advice to Rupert has been, Rupert, I'd love you to succeed, but I think you've got to look at what's going on very carefully.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
even Elon Musk has addressed it. So Tommy's addressed it, Rupert's addressed it, and Elon Musk has addressed it. And I'm not being big-headed when I say this. So please don't anyone think I'm being big-headed at all. But I just happened to cover it before all three of them.
Yeah.
And got absolutely hammered for it.
Yeah, got slaughtered for it.
But the point
Yeah.
that I've made has eventually been covered by Tommy, by Rupert, and by Elon Musk. So I couldn't have been that far out, could I?
No,
And by the
no.
way, even though Richard can shout off a little bit and be a bit hot-headed at times, and I tell him, right, he was also right. He wasn't necessarily right in some of the terminology he used. You know, I'm not responsible for what Ben Habib says. I'm not responsible for what Richard Inman says or what Tommy says. But we all have different ways of putting things. Richard is extremely passionate.
Listen, you're working class, mate. You're one
It
of us.
is what it is.
You're
Exactly.
working class. These people who are building these parties up, they know what they're doing. They've come from that. They see it. Do you know what? They're educated enough. Do you know? That's been their lifestyle. But we are as important as them.
Yeah, absolutely. We bloody are.
We are as important
Absolutely.
as them. And if they forgot about their bloody egos and just sat around and think, well, I don't like you, but I ain't got to come round your house for dinner. Let's get this job done.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Jackie, thank you so much for your
All
call,
right,
hon. You
darling,
have a
you
great
take care.
day. You have a great
And you,
day. Thank you
sweetheart.
so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
love.
Bye-bye. 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 Still waiting for someone to come on that wants to make an accusation aimed at me. There's the link in the chat. Jack. Good afternoon, Jack.
Yeah.
How you doing, mate?
Hello, you okay?
I'm all right, Jack. You?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you this. I wanted to speak on you leaving Advance because I think you was a good asset for Advance UK. You gave them a boost. I think by you leaving Advance, it might cause, I'm not saying for definite it would, but it might cause them to, become, old news, like, because, and, Advance UK, because have you seen the situation with Restore? Restore UK is taking the votes from them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like,
Jack,
you want to get Advance UK with the same.
Jack, I'm going to be really honest with you, and I'm going to be really honest with the viewers. And I'm probably going to lose some friends in advance for saying what I'm going to say right now. But this is one of the reasons why I resigned, so that I could be truthful with everyone. I think Advance are going to struggle big time. And the reason they're going to struggle big time is because Rupert has basically, and understandably, taken the wind out of their sails. The disappointment for me, and that's probably the best word that I can use, is the disappointment for me is we could have been so much stronger together. And I wish that Ben and Rupert had been able to come to an agreement. And with Nick Tenconi, my aim was to see Tommy's Tommy's United Kingdom, Nick Tenconi, all of the centre-right parties coming together to unite as one so that we could storm to victory next time around. You know, even get into a position where we were so strong that we can go to Nigel Farage and say, listen, Sunshine, this is the way it's going to be if you want our votes, right? You know, but it didn't work out that way. So we move on and we keep fighting, we keep trying. And good luck to Rupert. I hope that he fulfills everyone's ambitions and hopes. I really do, because they're my hopes as well.
Yeah, I agree. United, you're stronger. Divided, you fall. Well said.
Exactly. Jack, all the best, mate. You have a lovely weekend. It's only Tuesday. Have a lovely week. Julie, good evening, good afternoon. I'm all over the place. Look, good afternoon, Julie. Can you hear me, Julie? Julie, can you hear me? I've got no sound from you there, Julie. So, look, guys, you know, let me just get through one or two of... where did I get to on the supers? Ty Steve. Thank you, Steve. Balls to the haters. Paul, have a pint on me, mate. I'd give my right arm to see you continue to spread the truth for us Patriots. We have got your back. Any haters welcome to private message me. Cheers, Steve. You know, look, this is this flight is doing my head in. I think, no, he's a bit too quick for me. FP, the trolls watching are boosting your algorithms. Yeah, exactly. Joanne, you offered to pay for new shoes for my girl. Hardly a grifter, Paul. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you for that, Joanne. I appreciate that. Debbie, no one asked me, begged or coerced me to give Paul this money, done it of my own free will. Exactly. Thank you, Debbie. You know, I've never, ever asked anyone. Grifting, doing something that you are passionate about and sacrificing your safety and money, yet the same accusers are doing the best job, are doing at best a job they hate for a company they hate, still taking money. Yeah, what a good point. What a good point. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Charlie, keep up the good work, Paul. Charlie, I will do. Let's see if we got Julie back. Julie, good afternoon. Can you hear me, hun?
I'm going
Yeah.
to your stuff.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Julie. You all right there?
Yeah, I just wanted to come on and say I know you want the trolls on and that, but look, Claire is like my sister, and what the abuse the women have been getting just for speaking out. And I'd like to say I'm a 59-year-old grandmother. I always show my face. I speak my truths. I can agree and disagree with both sides. And if I can come on and show my face, it just shows when you open your link up to the people that are abusing you, it shows their true colours. And it just shows what they're about.
It does, Julie. And you know what? I believe, you know, what I don't want these people to think, because this is dangerous now, right? What I don't want them to think that I'm calling them out into some kind of physical confrontation, because I'm absolutely not. What I'm saying to them is if you have a genuine accusation to make against me, you should feel very confident in voicing that accusation. It's not about a confrontation. It's about someone making a complaint about a genuine grievance that they have against me. And yet still, we've been online for an hour and I've been begging them to come on. Still, not a single one has come on and had the guts to speak to me, let alone, you know, come on camera. I've even offered to keep the camera off, which I'm doing for everyone.
Yeah, just to be clear, when I say a confrontation, I mean a discussion.
There you go. Sorry, there's one there. Look, Sarah, Lord, not this again. You're milking this one in your echo chamber. Sarah, come on. Come on and tell me why I'm milking it. Sarah, you tell me if you would be happy. I don't know who you are, Sarah. I have no idea. And I wouldn't do it to anyone. I wouldn't, and I certainly wouldn't do it to a woman. But imagine, Sarah, if I started spreading news and lies and horrible things about you, calling you a grifter and a thief and all the rest of this stuff. Would you enjoy that, Sarah? Would you like it? Or would you think, no, I'm not going to accept this? And if it happened week after week, month after month, year after year, from the same people, I'm milking it. What am I milking, Sarah? Come on and tell me. Let's hear you. The link's in the chat. I'll put it in again. Talk's cheap. Let's hear the accusation. What was that comment there? Let's have a look. They're just 30 words, Paul. Julie, thank you so much, hon. I'm going to let you go because I want to try and get through some more of these regular chats. Thanks as always, Julie. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, hon. And you. They're just 30 words, Paul. Do you know what? They're actually not just 30 words. They're dangerous words because when people lie about you and other people listen to those lies who may be dangerous, may be unstable, that's putting your life at risk. That's a problem. Harry, good afternoon, Harry. Harry, can you hear me, mate? Harry, you got your mic switched off. Harry, I'll come back to you in a second. Try and find your mic. Can you find it? No, yes, no. There we go. It's off. It's on. Can you hear me? Harry, can you hear me? Still can't hear you, mate. Let's try Ocean Pier.
Hi, Paul.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. I was just hearing the lovely lady before me makes me feel less guilty for phoning it, for, you know, being a part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But I left you a message the other day, and I know quoting the Stoics and philosophers can be a bit like people roll their eyes, oh, you know. But I am a southeast London girl that grew up on a council estate and put myself to university as a mature student and a single mum, and loved education. And I was studying psychology, and I learned that philosophy is just a great mirror to how we live life. And I've tried to live my life by some of the Stoics and what I've read. And you remind me of, I hear you a lot apologize for the way you talk or the lack of language. And you don't have to be a great thinker or a truth seeker to be educated. You don't need to have formal qualifications. You've got the mind of a Stoic because you believe in the truth and you see your opponent not as somebody to beat, but somebody to have a challenge with, to try and find the truth from those experiences, from those discussions. And I think that's what people need to remember right now is we're not here to try and shout each other down. And the people that do that, Paul, I think you need to ignore them and don't give them air. And I know sometimes it's difficult to try and decipher who is actually, you know, just mystified or angry about something that they could be challenged on and they're willing to learn, or people that are just agitators. But I feel like I've said, I feel like it's one of your greatest strengths that I see you as a truth seeker. And truth doesn't always mean being right. It can be an albatross around your neck because people don't always appreciate the truth, and people have different versions of what the truth is. And I think that's where we are right now between restore and advance. And I think, you know, it's a shame that I saw Tommy ask the question about, well, who would you allow in your party? And Rupert was quite vague, and then he came back, like I thought was still a vague answer. It wasn't matter of fact. And that gives me pause for thought, because in his promotional video, he was very to the point about what he intended to do. So the fact that he would answer a question not in that same vein does concern me. But yeah, I just think
Yeah.
you are doing the right thing. You know, you want people to come together. And that's, you know, I do go in the comments sections here and there. I don't make it a priority. And when people have differences, I try not to argue, and I try to show the similarities between Restore and Advance so that people can make genuine choices based on what is good for the future of our country. And I just think we're at a sticking point, but I think it will move forward as time goes on. And
Yeah,
also,
definitely.
sorry,
Yeah, no, go on, carry on.
I saw Ben's speech at Oxford and I watched it 3 times
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Ben needs to talk to the community the way that he does when he's at Oxford.
Mm.
I don't know whether he feels that he's addressing different audiences, but I feel a difference when he's at Oxford. And I feel like he doesn't need to dumb it down. He needs to have the same passion that he does in those debates when he speaks to the people. And I don't always feel that he does. And that might be just my perception, but I feel like I said, it got a hold of me. And I felt, you know, yes, he's showing people the truth of things and he's challenging these misconceptions. And yeah, I just thought it was a great speech.
Definitely. And I want to say, you know, you've actually revealed something about me that even I didn't really realise. I mean, when you sit there and say that you think I'm a truth seeker, do you know what? You're so right. I've always done that all my life. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to know the truth, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's productive, whether it's going to be a negative, whether it's going to work in my favour or whether it's going to work against me. I've always wanted to know the truth.
Yeah.
And because the truth is really all that matters to me.
Yeah, I think some people have a higher sense of justice than others. And I think you're probably somebody that fits in that category. And like I said, it can be an albatross around your neck because not everybody, the truth isn't always convenient, is it? It can be challenging. No, it can be challenging, and you've already experienced it yourself. You've got to the point where you've stepped down from the college so you can stand in your truth. And I hope that your wife and your family are proud of you for making choices like that, because for somebody like me that's been confused, I'm an Advance member. I signed up with them pretty quickly. Then Restore came along and I'm like, what do I think? You know, where is this going? Are they going to come together? Who should I put my money on? Should I be a tactical supporter and not put my eggs all in one basket? So yeah, I appreciate having someone like you around that's that's willing to go in the middle and bring us together. And I think hopefully Restore become a little bit more transparent and what the reality of joining their party means. That will probably give people a little bit more clarity about where we go. I can't hear you, Paul.
Sorry, I had my mic muted. Thank you so much for coming on again. I've got some people waiting. I'm hoping
No
to
problem.
find someone that wants to have a go at me, but brilliant.
But if you want me to have a go at you, I'll tell you, you're a load of rubbish. Get off. We're sick of hearing you.
All the best. Take care. Have a great day. See you later. Let's try, where are we? And the guy that was waiting has disappeared again. The next one, they'll tell you that they tried to get on and I didn't let them on, but I've been taking screenshots just in case anyone accuses me of that. Harry, have I got you this time?
Hello.
I've got you. I've got your voice and you can hear me as well. How are you doing?
I'm good, Paul. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. Do you want to have a go at me?
I'm very sorry, Paul, to disappoint you, mate, but I'm
waiting for that. I'm waiting for someone to ring up and say, Paul, you stole a load of money from me. Paul, you ripped me off. Paul, you did this or whatever, but I'm still waiting. Go on, mate, carry on.
I'm just really chiming in to give you some encouragement, really, mate. What I would like to point out is you're a grown man like me. I'm 50 years old, right? And I know a little bit about ethno-nationalism, and I know quite a bit about Islam as well. When I was a youngster, I converted to Islam, and I was actually the first guest that Dino Bane had on his first ever live stream, and he kicked me off because I said I had the audacity to say to him that 50% of the Muslims in this country are not radical, and they don't go along with any of the Islamist stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So my message to you, basically, Paul, is I've been observed. I've got a 26-year-old son who's currently living in Dubai. I've got a 15-year-old daughter who lives in London. I think that all of us just want.
You've got to be one worried dad then right now. You've got a daughter in London and a son in Dubai.
I never worry, Paul.
God blimey, I wish I was like that. I'm a worrier.
I try not to. I try not to worry. I'm very optimistic. I think this year has been brilliant for our country. I get so much motivation from Lubna and Shoaib and people like Raja Maya. All we're doing, I think what's happened, Paul, is that the internet is a big thing now and it's a revolutionary thing, and we're just having all of our discussions now out in the open, and it's a good thing. What do you think?
Well, I mean, look, it is a good thing. It's good for people to get stuff off their chest, and that's what this channel is mostly all about. You know, people being able to get stuff off their chest. I think the bad side of the internet is when people are allowed to target others and lie about them and potentially incite violence against them. And I've got to be honest with you, mate, this week it's been so bad that there are probably about 18 names that I've written down, usernames of accounts that I consider that have gone over the top. And if anything happens to me, that list is going to be passed on, because at the end of the day, you know, I'm not going to be someone's cheap target. And I'm not just going to let them get away with it and bully me into submission. And that's the way I am. I've never been a fan of bullies and never will be. I grew up knowing this, right? I grew up learning this very young where I grew up, right? If you had something to say to someone, you either said it to their face or you kept your mouth shut. You know? So if you're going to say it to someone's face. I don't mean in a physical confrontation, but you know, be big enough to go up to someone and say, mate, I disagree with you on this, right? Can I have a chat with you? Let's have a beer, let's have a chat. And if we agree to disagree, that's fine. If we can find some common ground, even better. What you don't do is you don't go off and lie about that person, slag them off, make up a load of bullshit. That's not on, mate.
No.
For me, that's not on. Harry, I'm going to move on, mate, because I've got a few people waiting to come in. Thank you so much for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it. Good to see you. Annabelle, you are next. Annabelle, can you hear me? Really appreciate it. Good to see you. Annabelle, I'm getting a lot of feedback there, Annabelle.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, Paul.
Okay, I can hear you, but you haven't got your mic on. Can you hear me now? Right, Annabelle hasn't got a mic on by the sounds of it, or her ears. Sorry. Blitzer, you're up next. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Paul.
How you doing?
I'm not gonna have a go at you, but I am gonna have a go at the next best thing, which are those Muppets in charge at Craven Cottage.
Hey, you leave my Fulham alone, mate.
Well, it's not the club. The club's a grand institution. It's the two clowns that own it, especially Tony. Yeah. Tony owes me over 800 quid because of his incompetence.
Well, I think Tony Khan can probably afford it, mate.
But yeah, for those of you who don't know, Tony Khan, in addition to being a co-owner of Fulham and the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's such a liability that his father bought him not just one, but 2 pro wrestling promotions. And he's been buying up professional wrestlers like Man City have been buying up football teams. And he doesn't know what to do with them. And I buy tickets to see the wrestlers I want to see, and they're not on the card.
They're not there.
And when I complain, the fans of his wrestling promotions, they make your party and Green supporters look almost normal. They're threatening to stab me at the venue because I criticise their dear beloved Tony Khan, and I think even his father at times wonders, what are you wasting my money on? Because you don't know what you're doing.
I don't know the Khans, never met them, met the previous ownerships, but they're doing a good job for my Fulham. That'll do for me, mate. I'm going to move on because I want to try and get, through the last callers. I'm still hoping to find someone that wants to accuse me of something. Ty, you're up next. Can you hear me?
I do indeed.
You got me, mate?
Yep, 100%.
What's going on? What is going on?
Okay, I have a number of questions of my own to you.
Sure, go for it, mate.
Right, question 1. Do you know what a question mark is?
I know what a question mark is, yeah.
Good. Is it deemed not clever to ask a question?
Hold on a minute, mate. Is this a quiz or a question? Is it deemed, say that again?
Is it deemed not clever to ask a question?
Is it deemed not clever to? No, why?
Because the reason I asked them 2 questions, I should have said question 2 before the last question. The reason I asked these questions is, why did you attack me on a Sunday for me asking a question?
What was the question and what was my response?
Okay, your response is
no. What was your question?
I was just about to say that. I'll do the question first. The question was, so are 100K supporters wrong? Question mark. Racist? Question mark. Is this what you are saying? End. Right?
Yeah.
And your response was basically.
Just before you go any further,
sorry,
just before we go any further, can you read that out again? So I want to write it down. 100.
So why?
100,000. Yeah, go on.
Right, I'll ask the question again. Here goes. So are 100K supporters wrong? Question mark.
Yeah.
Racist? Question mark. Is that what you are saying?
Okay, and my response was?
Well, I'm not verbatim with this response, but it goes around about the way of not clever for asking this question.
That's not actually what I said, but that's
not verbatim, no, because you made a number of sentences whilst explaining the response.
Okay, I'm a little bit confused as to what I said, but I do kind of remember your question. So I would ask you a question. When you said, are 100,000 supporters wrong, and you're obviously talking about Restore here, are 100, so your question was, are 100,000 supporters wrong, racist, or is that what I'm saying? Okay, so my question to you would be, why would you think that that's what I said? You are insinuating that I've said 100,000 supporters are wrong. You're insinuating I said they're racist. I never said either. So why ask the question?
But when you flagged this question up, right, it was flagged up approximately about an hour into the stream when I asked it at the almost at the beginning of the stream. Now, Paul, you quite rightly, you and Richard went through it, and you explained it pretty much almost earlier on in the stream. So I thought it was a bit disingenuous, maybe accidentally, and I hope it was accidentally, Paul, because you know, I've got a lot of respect for you.
Yeah.
That you flagged this question up at the time, and also I don't believe the question was actually directed at you or Richard at the time. I think it was more directed at somebody in the chat
Okay.
who has taken the
Okay.
position of accusing almost all of Restore of being racist.
Yeah. Okay. So let me address that. First of all, thank you for coming on. That's the first thing I've got to say. You're the first person to come on that's actually had something to a question or an accusation, or not an accusation as such, but you're the first person to come on with anything to say. Now, I do remember the question. I don't remember what my answer was. But for me, if that question was aimed at me and you're now saying it might have been aimed at other people, I wouldn't necessarily know that. What you got to bear in mind is that as I'm sitting here looking at the screen, talking to you, trying to run the show, trying to make myself not look an idiot, trying to think of what to say next, looking at me notes and looking at the chats, sometimes you miss things and they get out of sync.
Absolutely.
And it might have been that out of the 2,500 messages that I've received, and that's the average on a show, between 2,500 and 4,000 messages a show, sometimes you get them out of sync and I might have taken it the wrong way. So if that question was aimed at me, I'll address it again. Are 100,000 supporters wrong, racist, or wrong or racist? Is that what you're saying? My answer to that would be, if that question was for me, my response would be, I never said they were.
But let's assume it was to you. Calling someone not very clever for asking the question is a bit, shall we say?
Well, you can frame it. Listen, my job is to run a show, right? And if you were offended by that, then I'll apologise, right? But at the end of the day, if someone asks me what I consider to be a silly question, I might give them a silly answer. Now, I think if someone said to me, and I want to be clear on this, Ty, because, you know, I have respect for you for ringing in, so I just want to be honest and fair, right? If someone said to me, Paul, are you saying that 100,000 Restore supporters are either wrong or racist, right? My answer to that would be, well, I never said that. Why are you even asking me the question?
Let's put it this way, Paul. If I was directing a question at you, I would tag you with at whatever your handle is.
Yeah, that's
or
fair.
At
but,
Richard Inman. But if it was someone in the chat, it's more than likely I would just respond on the chat straight away, because
I mean, I wouldn't know that.
Find out their name and tag them.
So I wouldn't know that. And there has been occasions when people have sent me messages and I've sent other people messages that have been completely lost in translation, right? They're talking about something else, or I've taken it the wrong way. They've taken it the wrong way. You know, look, when we got a show to run, we crack on with it. We enjoy it together. We get offended together. We move on and we get on with our lives. Today's show is really not about instances like this, because I would say to you, mate, if I offended you, I'm sorry, right? Because I didn't mean to.
Well, I just thought I'd ask for clarification. And
and I hope you've got it. I hope you've got it, my friend. I hope you've got it. Today was really more about giving the people that lie about me, right? You have a question for me, and I hope we've answered it, and we've spoken to each other like gentlemen. Today's live stream was giving the people the chance to come on who have lied about me, who are making up shit about me and making me deliberately, I believe, quite deliberately, making me a target. At 65 years old, mate, that is not a nice prospect.
And
right?
Can I just clear up to somebody in chat that's just made a comment? Scottish here, get him off. He's an embarrassment. Well, how am I an embarrassment when I stood in the Queen's uniform against the terrorist threat that has stood in our land since 2001? I am not a leftist, and I have stood for 10 years, going down to London, I hasten to add, whilst being a homeless veteran, travelling down 12 hours there, 12 hours back on a bus, breaking my back to stand alongside patriots up and down the country, a majority of patriots that can't even have the decency, the common decency, to travel a couple of hours to stand for your own country.
So, look, listen, mate, you know, what goes on in the chat, you know, look, first of all, thank you for your service. You know, I mean, I always say that to former servicemen and women, you know, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Look, this is the problem at the moment. We've got people, our own people, having to go at each other. And this is one of the reasons why I've been so pissed off recently, because I'm sick to death of good people ripping into each other, sick to death of good people that are not face to face, because if we were all in the pub together right now, none of this would be taking place. We'd look each other in the eyes, we'd have a pint together, we'd crack on. And a lot of this is just sheer and utter bullshit, and I'm sick to death of it, mate. You know,
I'm sick. I'll reiterate that I am also sick to death, Paul, and we need to gel together. Yesterday, right, not even 20 miles from me, or 20 minutes rather, there was an incident. You talked about it, you know, where some jihadi, I was going to swear that, jihadi arsehole, right, was going out stabbing people up, you know, and today there's nothing in the news about it. It's almost been swiped off the news, the Scottish news, all that sort of stuff. We know what he was.
Yeah, something's happened today in Birmingham as well. I haven't got to grips with it just yet, but there's been another event in Birmingham today. I don't know if what that's related to. The last report I saw, the anti-terror police were on their way. Don't know what it's about, and not qualified to talk about it just yet. But you're absolutely right. After what took place yesterday, which could very well have been another bloody Southport, what are we doing today? Arguing amongst ourselves. It's just a joke.
Yeah, we need to gel back together, and we need to focus on the real problem, and that is the threat of Islam in our country. Not only Islam, but the rise of Marxism that has enabled Islam to take a foothold in our fucking land.
Yeah, exactly. The useful idiots, the unholy alliance.
Yeah.
The unholy alliance. Mate, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Hope we cleared that up. It sounds to me like it was probably a bit of a miscommunication. So, there you go. All the best to you, mate. Have a good week. And again, thank you for your service, sir.
You too. Thank you very much. And
Thank you, mate.
catch you later.
All the best. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Alan Mystic. Alan, good afternoon.
Hi, Paul. Can you hear me, mate?
I can hear you, mate.
Yeah, sound, Paul. I'll try and keep it a bit short, mate, but
no worries.
I'm a bit in the wind with all this. You know, I don't say a lot on your channel, but I do come on here a lot and sit in the background. I do lots of research and reading and seeing what people have got to say. In regards to your comments from the first video comment you made, the chap who's terminally ill. All I'd like to say is to him is, whether you're lying about being terminally ill or not, I don't really know, but I'd like some of his medication if he's got some to spare, because he's doing better than me. But anyway, like I say, whatever his agenda, whatever, I don't know. I don't even know the geezer. Never heard of him.
The problem is,
I don't think you're worth your time at all. I don't think you're worth listening to him at all.
Alan, I agree. 99% of the time, I just let all this stuff go. It's irrelevant to me, and with all due respect, they're irrelevant to me. They're talking bullshit, and when people talk shit, it doesn't mean anything to me. The trouble is, or the difference is that this week, there's 2 or 3 channels at it, there's 2 or 3 people at it, and they have they've gained traction this week.
Yeah.
And I know they've gained traction because of some of the rotten messages that I've been reading about myself, and I think, who's this bloke they're talking about? Because it ain't me. You know, so there is a time when you have to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, of course there is, Paul. I fully understand that, mate. And I think we're cut from the same cloth. I'm 60 summit. I don't know, 62, I think. So I'm cut from the same cloth. You know, I don't hold to all this bullshit. If they want to come in your chat and give it a load of shit, well, don't come in the channel. Just walk on. You know,
exactly. If they've got such a thing about me earning money, like I earn like $1 million a year or something, you know, like YouTube is the world's best paid job, and I can assure them it absolutely ain't. None of these people that go on about me earning money on YouTube would work for free themselves. And the only people that pay me is Google. And if I can have a few quid free off of Google every month for doing YouTube videos, I'm going to take it, right?
Of course you can. Paul, when I started this, sorry, I'm speaking over you, but when I started this, I started with nothing. I put all my own money in, and this isn't a grift or a brag or nothing at all. When I started, I put 20 grand of my own money in, just to go out and cover protests. I report on the scene from protests. That's all I do. And like I say, I put 20 grand of my own money in, and and Chris as well, my son. So I can 100% say I'm not a grifter. Not that I care if anyone thinks I am. I couldn't care less. I'd just do it for the cause. I could stop tomorrow. It don't make no difference to me. I don't need the money.
Mate, I've got to be honest with you, right? I do care when people call me a grifter, because I've got pride, right? And I've never ponced a penny off in my life. I've never, ever been a ponce. Never would be, never have been, never will be.
No. I wouldn't see you as that sort of person, Paul, anyway. So.
No, mate. Yeah, I'll tell you, I think, to be honest with you, I think ponces are a bit, I'm not got a lot of time for people that ponce money off of others, right? And that is. I mean, I could go on my stream and I could beg for money and do all that palaver, and I wouldn't blame anyone for doing that. Each to his own. If you want to earn money, get on there and do it. Pay, are they? Nobody's forced to do it. Nobody's forced to give them money. Mate, I'm going to move on because I think we've got some people waiting for the link. Thank you so much for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it. All the best to you. Let's have a quick look. Right, apparently people are asking for the link. Now, we've been going for an hour and 32 minutes, and I really only want people to come on now because I need to... I've got a couple of things that I need to do this afternoon, but I want to give the haters the last chance to come on, right? So the link is in the chat. If you have an accusation to make against me, I want to understand your concerns. I want to know exactly what they are, and I want to know exactly what you're accusing me of. The link is in the chat right now. Charlie Tango, keep up the good work, friend. Thank you very much, Charlie, and thank you, Sharon. We love you, mate. Trying to defend people with morals has become hell on YouTube. Poor Claire Bear. This is narcissistic abuse, twisted words, verbally attacks, disgusting. Yeah. Sharon, that is what's been taking place. People have been taking some of my words and they have been completely twisting them around into something that I haven't said. Sharon, again, haters come on and brave enough to take on us women. When we stick up for Paul, debate the man himself. There you go. Charlie, I'm sorry, Paul. Love you to bits. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Charlie. Let's invite Mark on. Mark, good afternoon, mate.
It's not me.
Mark, it's you, yeah.
Oh, all right, mate. How you doing, Paul?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yes, mate. I got you loud and clear. Just coming from Northern Ireland here.
You're a little bit faint, Mark, but carry on. I can hear you.
I don't have my headphones or nothing in, mate.
Okay,
but,
mate.
Yeah.
You can come closer to the speaker because I'm not putting your camera on, so we can't see where the camera's going.
Okay, mate. No sweat, mate. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
What's on your mind?
No, mate. I'm in Northern Ireland, as you know. I'm an activist and a citizen journalist. First of all, I want to say thank you for wishing me well when I had my daughter back nearly a year ago. I just want
pleasure.
to clear up a couple of things because we're a wee bit confused over here with everything that's going on in England, because obviously we take a lot. We go on what goes on over there, and there seems to be a big split with let's carry on with ethno-nats and stuff like that, you know, and we don't want to be carried along with being called racist and far right, as we have been getting done for the last year, as we've been activists over here. So what is going on? Why is there such a split over there? Can you explain to us in Northern Ireland? And you've probably done this over and over again. What's the position between being proud to be English and British and all the rest of it, just so we understand? Because we are unionists and we are proud to be British. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, the thing is, Mark, I did a video the other day, actually. I don't know if you've seen it. What was it called? Let me just get it out, because I'll tell you what, I'd love you to actually watch that. And what I said was during that video was that a lot of it is a fuss over nothing, in my humble opinion. You know, we can talk about scientifics all we like, you know, scientifically and through DNA, if you're going to be English, then you're going to be white. If you're going to be 100% ethnically English, you are going to be white. That's not a debate. That is a scientific fact.
Right.
So it shouldn't. Go on.
Can I just interject?
Yeah.
So from a Northern Ireland point of view, from Ulster men, we're proud to be Ulster men. Now, we're not in a situation like yourselves in England where we believe that your country's being replaced. You know, what we see with Birmingham, Luton, Leicester, Rotherham, Rochdale, you know, there's no denying London. You know, there's cities there that will never be English again. We're not in that situation. We are still an Ulster country. We are still full of Ulster men, Protestants and Catholics. So, you know, we're looking at, when we say we are Ulster men, and when these guys come into our country, they will never ever be Ulster men. I've done videos about it. Now, I'm not far right and racist, but I'm genuine. The men that come into this country, whether they've come in through the traitors government and been given citizenship, or whether they're just coming in right now, doesn't matter what they do. Doesn't matter if they got a British passport. They will never be Ulster men. Does that make me an ethno-nat?
No.
Right.
Not at all. Not at all. Not in my book. You know, I mean, look, I did a video yesterday, and it was called "The Crazy Debate That's Tearing Us Apart."
Yeah.
It's only 7 minutes long, and I worded that video very carefully. What I'd like you to do, Mark, and anyone else that has a question over my definition of what ethno-nationalism mean and all this, right? Please watch that video, and I hope it clears it up for everyone. Whether everyone will agree with it or not is a different thing. But at the end of the day, it explains my position as far as I'm concerned.
Is that the one where you were talking about the world wars and Russia and Germany and all that?
I think it may have been. I mean, you know, a lot of my...
I did watch that. So the point I want to make, you were talking about us going to war. So what comparison has that got to do with what we're dealing with right now? How can you make that comparison with Frenchmen and Ulster men and Englishmen and Welshmen going to war?
I'll tell you what, should we watch it again? It's only 7 minutes long.
Yes.
Should we get it up? Hold on a minute.
Yes, definitely.
If it's the video, I think it is, but let me just double check. I make so many videos, Mark. I don't know what I've done up myself half the time. Hold on a minute.
No bother, mate.
Let me get it up, brother, and we will have a look together. That's the wrong one. Share video, share screen. That's the one. Right. This is... Hold on, I'm looking at myself. Hold on. Where's it gone? There you go. That's better. Yep, that's the one. Right, I'm going to play it. Hold on. Welcome back, everyone. Now, you know, the current and rather ugly debate about who qualifies as being British and who can truly call themselves English is, at this moment in time, Mark.
Yes.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm getting a lot of feedback from your... I'm going to mute you while this video plays. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes, of course. No problem.
And then I'll
Just give me
come
a
back
shout
to
when
you.
you want me to speak again. No problem.
Deeply damaging and hugely unnecessary. Some people might even call it absurd. Not absurd because it's amusing or because it's harmless, but because of how misplaced it is. And for what it's worth, I'll share my own personal view on who and who cannot genuinely claim these identities later on in the video. What makes the debate laughable right now is its complete lack of relevance to the challenges that we're actually facing. It's become a highly dangerous and unnecessary distraction, pulling everyone's focus away from the far more relevant issues. The truth is, we've all taken our bloody eye off the ball. And if we have a look back in history during World War II, the British, the Americans, and many other nations stood shoulder to shoulder with the Russians to defeat Adolf Hitler. These were not natural allies in terms of ideology, values, or long-term vision for the world. In fact, they had profound disagreements about how the future would look and who belonged within it. Yet together, they were known as the Allies, and for a very good reason. They understood that despite their differences, unity was essential in the face of a common and existential threat. Back then, similar to what's happening today, Europe had been invaded by a ruthless army, and cooperation was not optional. It was an absolute must, their unity. Mark, can I ask you, is this the video you're talking about?
It is, mate. It is indeed.
Okay, so I'll let it carry on, yeah?
Yep, go ahead, mate.
Okay, nice, mate. Ended up bringing us freedom and victory. But had they been stupid enough to allow division to overtake them, history might have turned out very differently. Thank God we had leaders back then, at least, who knew what unity could bring. Fast forward to here today in 2026, and here at home we see people on the right and even those slightly beyond it tearing into each other over a debate that in practical terms changes absolutely nothing about our immediate problems. Meanwhile, those on the political left advances steadily towards number 10 again, while their opponents remain distracted and badly divided. This argument over who can be British and who can be English, in truth, is wholly detached from the realities we're dealing with right now. And we do well to remember that such distinctions didn't matter in the fields of Flanders or on the beaches of Dunkirk or in the skies above the English Channel. What mattered then was a shared purpose and collective resolve. And that is what should matter today. But for clarity and for those that are interested, here's how I see it. Here's my own personal take on this ugly debate. Legally speaking, at this moment in time, it's undeniable and indisputable that being British means holding a British passport. That is the current definition under the law. Now, I don't agree with this. I don't like it. And I believe there is plenty of room for changes down the line. But as things stand today, that is the reality. Debating a change to that framework is definitely worthwhile, and one that one day we must have, particularly as there is so much genuine support to reform it. But now is not the time if doing so only means weakening the broader cause. And when it comes to the more contentious question of who can truly be English in an ethnic sense, well, this issue isn't as complex as people would like to make out. Again, in reality, from a purely scientific and historical standpoint, ethnicity can be examined through science, ancestry, and DNA. Science is a wonderful thing, and it deals in observable facts, just as biology identifies male and female as two different sexes. Ancestry can be traced and clearly categorized. And from that strictly scientific perspective, someone described as ethnically 100% English would, historically speaking, be of white Anglo-Saxon lineage. And there should be no fear in acknowledging scientific facts and definitions for what and who they are. It's crazy. However, this is not the important issue here. Scientific classification alone. Mark, I don't want to play all of that video.
Yeah, no, that's enough.
Is that enough, mate? Yeah, I don't want to play and bore people. So did you, is there a part of that you had a problem with?
No, it's just, well, so what it is with the Flanders, and, you got to understand, by the 136th Division in Ulster was created by Sir Edward Carson, the Ulster Volunteer Force. Yep. So we're embedded in what happened in the Somme and other places like Thiepval and Yves and stuff like that. Yep. We're quite proud of that. So you know, when you're saying stuff like that, that's what we want to hear. But it doesn't seem to be what's being produced on the ground. You know, it seems to be like you're saying the right things, but you know what we're seeing from Northern Ireland, it seems to be totally different. Everybody's falling out with each other. You've got Ben Habib, you've got Rupert Lowe. You know, seems to be going head to head, and it doesn't make any sense to us. You 25 years you've been doing this for, and you know, you're at a stage now where your country's irreversible. You know, and so what are we to take from this?
Mark, let me tell you something, my friend. From my point of view, right, I'm not a politician, right? Even though I was in the college, I'm not a politician.
Of course,
you know, I don't class me. But what I am,
but you are a right wing influencer.
Yes, mate. And what I am is I'm 100% loyalist.
Yes.
I'm 100% stand with you guys.
Thank you.
1,000,000%.
Thank
in
you.
fact, you know, Northern Ireland is massively important to me as a unionist. Unfortunately, I think events have overtaken us here in England. I think what's happened is that the English have been battered so much over the head for the last 25, 30 years that there are a lot of English men right now that are thinking that their England has gone and may never come back. And they are sick to death of, because you see in the past, you can't really claim this about the Northern Irish, I think, but what you can say is that the Welsh have been allowed to have their identity, the Scottish have been allowed to have their identity, but the Englishman's identity has been taken away in many respects. And there are people out there who aren't so strongly attached to the union as I am, because like you, when you talk about Ypres and Flanders, etc., my granddad was in the First World War, fought side by side with your boys. It's very deeply ingrained. You can't get that out of your blood. You can't get that out of your system. Once it's there forever. But there are a lot of Englishmen, unfortunately, that perhaps haven't got that emotional attachment. And they are so sick of being downtrodden just for being English. So maybe that's part of the problem. I don't know. I haven't really got the answer. You know, I wish I did. You know, I think the vast majority of people in the UK, in Britain, you know, look at the union as hugely important. There are too many traitors that don't. There are a lot of traitors within our own communities that would love to see that union broken up, but not for me.
So what I'm trying to get across right now is this is when the Americans turn their flag upside down. This is a time in our history that we're part of. We're part of this. This is something that nobody's ever seen coming, and it seemed to have just come out of nowhere. You know, we're just hearing now that Birmingham has almost been replaced in Leicester and stuff like that, and you know, it's concerning to us. You know, it really is concerning as unionists, as loyalists and Protestants in Northern Ireland, and like, you know, this isn't the time to be picking and poking at people and calling out people. I'm not saying yourself, but others online. Digging at each other in right wing, calling people out ethno-nats. This is the time to embrace everybody, whether you agree with it or not. We need to find a solution to stop what's going on and to reverse it.
I agree 100%. All of my videos, you know, have been about unity. Yes, I've spoken about other people on the odd occasion, and I don't dig people out. But if someone does something wrong, I'm not saying it wrong, but if someone does something that I think isn't right, I have to speak about it.
Yeah, of course. I totally understand. You've got the hardest job.
It's a hard job. And let me say, Mark, there is no bigger advocate for Northern Ireland than Ben Habib.
Yeah, I understand that.
And that is one of the reasons why I've stuck up for Ben, is because Ben is one of the few politicians that loves Northern Ireland, appreciates Northern Ireland, and wants it to remain part of the UK, not just now, not just next week, but forever.
So can you imagine what it feels like? Because I have spoke up for Ben Habib on my platform as well. I've supported him. It was Sarah White came over, and I had a chat with Sarah White, and she put me right in a few things and opened my eyes to a few things, and I put my support behind Ben Habib, and many other men in this country have as well. But now we're looking at Rupert Lowe, and we're seeing the support Rupert Lowe's getting. We need to get behind the person that's going to win, and this is the problem we've got. You've got you've got Rupert Lowe, you've got Ben Habib, you've got ADF, you've got Homeland, you've got UKIP, you've got, I could go on. It's like,
I think there's 13 parties. I think 12 or 13
on the right. How we ever going to save the union with that many parties? Now you got Britain First as well. I'm not going to don't like leaving anybody out, because I've got time for every single one of them. I've got there's time. At the end of the day, I love every patriot. I don't care, but something needs to be done. Like, I'm appealing to the English right now as an Ulsterman in Northern Ireland. We are really worried of what we're seeing, and the only solution is coming together and uniting. There's no other option. And anybody that doesn't want to unite are just being traitors and are going to be implicit in bringing the union down and the replacement of England.
Mark, brilliant call. I couldn't put it better myself, my friend.
Thank you, mate.
We have, we're on the same song sheet. God bless you. And,
thank you, mate. God bless you. Too, mate.
Honestly, mate.
Thanks for having me
on
on.
with you. Take care. All the best. Thank you so much. All the best.
Cheers.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Bye-bye.
Right, the Patriotic Christian is up next. No more calls now, guys, because I've been on for nearly 2 hours. I've got 3-4 more people waiting to come on. The Patriotic Christian, you're on. Let me move Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you, mate. How you doing?
Brilliant. Not so bad, Paul. Not so bad.
How are you, my friend?
Pity, I'm tired. We were out celebrating with the Persians last night, not Iranians, the Persians.
The Persians, yeah. What's on your mind, mate? Let me know. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so well, basically, as you know, I've said for a while now, there's these commentators or platforms in the background that have been attempting to destroy Tommy and the Unite the Kingdom movement. I've been following this now for, I would say, the best part of a year. This stems back to February, when Tommy was inside and we had the UTK event in London. I think it was held with Liam. I was at the Churchill statue for that, doing crowd control. And there was a team that at the end was separated. The leader of that team threw his dummy out the pram, and since then has wagered attack after attack after attack on Tommy, his team, and anyone associated with him, whether it's you, Danny, Richard, Iman, absolutely anyone. And it's almost daily with one channel where you'll get this guy who is continuously calling you all grifters, and his main argument is towards ethno-nationalism. And there is video. He's obsessed. He is absolutely obsessed with taking down Tommy and destroying the movement. And the amount of times he has even put out and disclosed himself, although it's supposed to be this one big secret and this documentary or something is coming out, which is a load of
It's just the guy with the white hair.
Yep, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, look, I've seen some of his videos, mate. I mean, he just appears to hate everyone. I don't think I've ever heard him say a good word about anyone. But look, listen, he's entitled to his opinion, right? He's entitled to his opinion. If he's got something to show the world, let's see it.
Exactly. I think all this grifting accusation, it's all a part of this jealousy thing. It was
a smear campaign. It's a smear campaign. That's what it is.
It is. This goes way back to, and it's already been disproved. This has already been debunked, all the myth around the Peter Lynch money and so on and so forth. They still continue using that narrative to try and get people away from the UTK movement. They're trying to break it up so that they then can move more people towards their ethno-nationalist stance. Now, I've got no problem. I don't believe in this whole tribalistic way of thinking between this ethno-nat, civ-nat thing. I'm a patriot. I love all people who love this country, regardless of what colour
they are. That's where I am, really. That's where I am.
Yeah. I do have a concern for our demographic, of course. That is. And I understand that being English is an ethnicity. It is, of course it is. If you're not English, it doesn't mean that's an attack on your character.
Can I just say, we haven't got to worry about that anymore, because being ethnically English is a science. It's a scientific fact. So we haven't got to be worried about having that conversation. If anyone wants to bring up any racism accusation when we talk about being who is and who is English or ethnically English. Look at the science. That's it. Science doesn't lie.
I think we need to move away from that discussion now and
Move away
go
from
back.
it. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
an unnecessary discussion that is acting as a distraction.
There's a lot of focus around it, and I think if we keep focusing on that, it's just going to drag us back from being united and fighting back against the left and the jihadists.
Of course.
So we need to put that in the back burner for now. That's something we've got to win first. We've got a big fight on our hands, and if we don't take it to them united, we're screwed.
Yeah. 100%, mate. 100%. You are right. Thank you so much for coming on.
Keep it up, Paul. You're
Really
a good man. You know
appreciate
you
it.
are.
And you, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, mate. Dave, you are up next, my friend, and then it is Raoul. Dave, your device is not connected. If you want to come on, you'll have to connect your device. Raoul, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my friend. What is on your mind?
Yeah, hi there. First off, just want to say thanks for having me on. I was super gutted when you made that announcement. You want to step away from Advance, but hey, I understand why you've done that. I was at the 7th of Feb event, saw you come online. You did your bit. Would have been nice to meet you in person, but never mind. I met Richard, so it was all good.
Yeah.
But what I want to touch on is two things. Number one, look, when you put yourself out there in the public, and you're always going to get haters, Paul. You know,
Absolutely,
you're always going to get that. So view this as a family. I got listening to you, Richard, your mate Danny, etc., just purely because of your energy. Keep it going, brother. Don't let this get to you too much. These people won't say it to your face. They'll probably run a mile. And yeah, it's a great thing you're doing. You got a good thing going for you in life.
No, I
Another
appreciate
thing-
that,
yeah,
Raoul.
go
I
on.
appreciate that. Go on, carry on, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Another thing I want to talk about is why a couple of things, and I'm going to join the whole conversation together and keep it very brief and quick as well. It's this whole situation about ethnicity. It's really boring me. It's really low IQ stuff, and it's just like, geez, look, I'll be honest, you don't know what I look like, but I'm born and bred in this country. I'm a patriot. I come from a British Punjabi Sikh background. My granddad come here when he's part of the British Army, and I say, come here, etc. All I know is this country. I love this country. That's me, and my siblings have been raised like that. I don't care if you're black, brown, green, okay, Mickey Mouse, as long as you're patriotic towards this country.
Yeah.
And we're sorting out people who are very disrespectful to this nation. I'm cool with anyone.
Yeah.
The way I look at a nation is it's like a mother. You don't spit at your mother. You look after your mother. You care for your mother. And like my dad said, if you're born here or you live here, you've won lottery in life, son.
Yeah.
That's what my dad's always taught me.
Mate, what a fantastic call, mate. What a fantastic way of saying it. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. And
Brilliant.
thank you. And the whole ethnicity thing, it's quite simple. Look, English is an ethnicity of white people. Even I can say that. It's not. So when I was watching that GB News, I don't know if you saw it, that Charlie Downs chap from Restore and Nana, I thought they both lost the argument, and I'll tell you why.
I thought that,
I thought when Charlie was asked that question, just have conviction in what you believe in. Just say, no, Nana, you're not English, you are British, but you're ethnically Ghanaian, from what I know. But there's nothing wrong with that because you're patriotic. Conversation over.
Scientific facts.
Yeah.
And she's a
was like-
patriot. So what's the fucking problem, right?
Exactly. So he was waffling on about, I don't know what he was talking about. And I got a funny feeling why he was tiptoeing. And here's my theory. They know they've got damage control, Restore have. Because from the get-go, they have sort of brought this upon themselves by the rhetoric of language, marketing, and communication. They haven't been very clear. Even the message that Tommy Robinson was trying to gather from Rupert Lowe, I thought was very vague. It's not hard. If you have conviction, Paul, if you said to me, do you support this team or that team? I say yes or no. It's simple.
Yeah.
Rupert Lowe, I don't even know if that was Rupert Lowe replying back. I really don't, because it was such a vague response. And then another response came along, which is a bit like, well, there's this camera guy and he's like this, and yeah, he's okay, so he can join. I'm like, what? What is this? It's like the most dodgiest back alley lawyer response you could get. So when Nana was also asking the questions on GB News, I thought that was silly as well. I thought they both lost the argument pretty much. I think Restore are doing damage control. I would love everyone to get together. I think the problem here is, and it comes down to this, there's been so much effort and hard work and months and evenings and nights of people like you putting the effort in, and the UTK movement, which I was at, and I loved it. There's so much of that, and people galvanized and brought people together. And these lot, no, we're not going to have a party. No, we're going to have a movement. And bang, they bring a party out and just sort of pull the rug from everyone. And that, I think that's really kicked it in the in-betweens and really sort of deflated everyone. And here's another thing, Paul. What do you think to this? We had about 40,000 members. Restore happen, boom, they get about 100K. I was with my partner at the event at UTK. I goes, within 5 days, Advance's membership should shoot up because Ben Habib's on stage. He's got exposure now. It should happen. After the 5th day, she goes to me, love, there's no increase. And I thought, I've got a funny feeling what's going on here. Yeah. And I didn't want to go down that route, but it was the only route that it took it down me. I can tell by your face. You're like, oh, yeah, we know. And Richard was banging on it and he clocked onto this from the get-go. I purely believe, because I get it with the English people, especially the ones who self-describe themselves as ethnonats, they're fed up. I get their angle. They're fed up. They're sick and tired. And they're like, no, we just want one of our own. Ben, we love you. We get what you're saying. And I said to her, guys, I think that's all it is. They're just done. They're fed up. And I understand their anger. They've been demonized. They've been told you're bad, you're racist, your country's this, you're that, and that. And like my dad said, last time I checked, people running into the UK, not out of it. So I don't know what's your thoughts on that.
Well, mate, listen, I can't disagree with a goddamn word you've said. I think you've been an amazing caller, and I'm not being patronising when I say this. I think you've been very perceptive. You've certainly read the position, I think, extremely well. I'm not going to speak negatively about Rupert for the moment, at least, because I want him to do well. I want Restore to do well. I have my concerns. You have outlined some of them very eloquently and perfectly. We will see. The proof of the pudding will be in the eating. The pressure now is on Restore to back up what they've said, because they have the hopes of a nation, on their shoulders now, and I've said it 1,000 times before. I wish them all the success, all the very best, and I wish that we'd have been able to come to a better agreement with them to force together. But it is what it is, and I think you're spot on, mate. I think you're spot on. Raoul,
that's good.
Cheers, brother.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah,
one more. And I want to get your thoughts on this, and I think the chat will like this. Everyone's saying restore, and I think a lot of people overall don't have a problem with Restore. I don't have a problem with Rupert Lowe. I follow what he's doing as an MP. Great, fantastic. Keep it up. Keep it up. What I have a problem with is a couple of things. Number one, the Electoral Commission haven't accepted them yet. So question is, what would happen to all these people if the Electoral Commission turn around and say, hold up, we just don't like the sniffy here, because we don't know who these people are. Are they lefties? Are they liberals sitting on this board? Who are they? And they might say, hold up, we don't want a 2.0 of a BNP, because imagine how a liberal's going to view this, not the everyday man and woman, how a liberal. So we don't, mostly, I would say a lot of these institutions, authorities have people of that mindset sitting on them. So they could say, no, sorry. So what happens to all these people? Do they run back to Advance and say, sorry guys, can we come back home? And number two is, and here's the most important thing about it, is if Restore made it very clear that no, everyone is welcome, it doesn't matter what your background is, as long as you're patriotic. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this, Paul. You've said it, Dan said it, everyone said it, Richard said it. You ain't going to win this on ethnic lines. I'll tell you why. because Middle England is going to look at you lot and be like, nada. You go in most cities, Paul, you know this, yeah? It's a collective group of different people. What are you going to say? Only you lot vote for us. All right. You see that lot you've now discounted, that other 60%, they voted somewhere else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
And they'll gang up on you, mate. I think,
Yeah.
Raoul, I think you've hit the nail perfectly on the head, and you've just reiterated what I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, and have been absolutely hammered to death for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
no, I've been listening, and I agree with you. I agree with you, brother.
I'm telling you, mate. Long term, I think we're going to be proved to be right, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Raoul, God bless you, mate. All the best.
And you, brother. God bless.
Take care. Thank you,
everyone.
mate. Bye bye. Bye bye. Last caller of the day is Dave. Dave, can we hear you now? Dave, good afternoon. Hello, Dave. Dave, are you there, mate?
Fucked up.
Dave, no, I can hear you, mate. Can you hear me? No, Dave, I can hear Dave, but Dave can't hear me. I'll remove him and give him a couple more seconds. Let's get through the last of the supers. Let's have a look. Where did I get to? I read that one out, didn't I? Yeah, I read that one. Thank you so much, Nina. Julie, I read that one. Right, Ty Steve, I read that one as well. Just need to get to the bottom of these. Debbie, no one asked me, begged me or coerced me to give Paul this money done at my own free will. Thank you. I did read that one out, didn't I? Oh, there we go. I think this is where I got up to. Charlie, keep up the good work, friend. Thank you very much. Sharon, we love you, mate. Trying to defend people with moles has become a hell. Yeah, I read that one as well, didn't I? Yeah. Haters come on, brave enough to take us women on when we stick up for Paul, debate the man himself. I'm sorry, Paul. Lovely spirits, keep up the good work. I think I've read most of these, haven't I? Charlie. Hi, Paul. Just on my way home from college. If you're still around in 20 minutes, I'll come on, my friend. Thank you, Charlie. Hell's Gate Music. Wow, thank you. I left a comment on the crazy debate that's tearing us apart video saying, I thought you were missing the point and explain why. Criticising different views, solutions is unnecessary. No response as yet. Can you get around to it sometime? I'll do my best, my friend. I'll do my best. I have about 2,500, 3,000 messages a day. Unfortunately, I don't get round to seeing them all, but I will do my best, my friend. I promise you. Thank you so much for that. Cheers, June. Sharp bite. They won't call him mate. Ballish trolls. Exactly. Mandy. Not a lot of hosts will invite people on to challenge. Well, this is the thing, man. I don't have anything to fear. That's the problem. It's very easy to throw open the floor to people that want to challenge me when I've got nothing to fear. Charlie, Paul, if you are live later or tomorrow, then I'll come on. I've got a few things to do. I want to get some stuff off my chest. Maybe live, maybe later, mate. Cheers, Charlie. Appreciate that. Right, guys, that's it. No more supers today. Thank you, guys. And look, at the end of the day, I've come on this afternoon. If you've only just joined us or you've joined the show late, I've come on the show today to address and to send out a challenge to those that are lying about me, spreading fake news about me. These lies and horrible things are spreading. They're damaging my channel. Much to the delight of those people. Well, good luck to them if that gets them going. Good luck. But the point is this, is that I've now been online for 2 hours and 8 minutes and not one single person, not one single one of them has come on and accused me of any wrongdoing. I hope that says it all. I think it says it all. No doubt they will have their excuses. I didn't see it. I wasn't able to come on. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put my email address in the chat right now, but I'm going to ask you a favour. Please don't use this email address unless you've got something to say to me that is negative, right? You know, I appreciate all the comments saying Paul, you know, the Norham, etc. But I want people to contact me if they've got something to accuse me of. If they want to call me a grifter, show me how. Email me. I've given you the chance to come on. You haven't. I'm going to give you the chance to email me, and then you can come on. I can't do any more. And if you see people lying about me on these channels, if you see people telling lies, saying that I've targeted them, call them out on it. Ask them for the proof. That's the main one. Ask them for the proof, because they simply haven't bloody got it. Right, everyone, love to you all. That was a rather loveless 2 hours, but at least we spent it together. All the best to everyone. Take care. We'll see you soon.